Hi, soldier.
Last time on Chasing Rainbows.
You got a light?
I want to feel something deeply again.
Accept it, Jake. They are wonderful poems. They deserve to be read.
There's no deal. We don't deal with it.
Listen to me, kid. I got a fuck deal.
No!
Mr. Rose, wish your partner a Merry Christmas for me.
Do you think for 1 second what this gonna mean to me? Did you even care? No, you were too busy searching for your bloody tortured soul in the bottom of a bottle.
Do you suppose I look even remotely virginal? Well, I'd like to keep people wondering, you know? Just keep a little bit of mystery. Does she or doesn't she? Do you want me to help you with your tie?
I gotta go.
Where?
Nowhere, I just gotta go.
I see. I guess what you're trying to say is you gotta go. Oh, that wasn't funny either. Will I see you tomorrow? I know you like to consider yourself the strong and silent type, but this is a little ridiculous. Would you mind telling me what I missed? Jake?
Look, I can do one of two things. I can just go, or I can tell you a bunch of things that I don't want to tell you and that you don't want to hear, and then I can go.
Things? What things?
Things like, maybe I lied to you. Did you believe a lot of stuff that isn't true? Led you on?
What's that, a bad novel? You didn't lead me on. It's almost 1920. I'm a big girl now. It's not like you're my first, you know. You haven't despoiled me or anything. Maybe that's why you're disappointed.
I'm not disappointed. Can't we just leave it?
Leave it? And leave me wondering what the hell's wrong with me?
It's me. It's got nothing to do with you.
Oh, come on, Jake. What, are you two-timing me with one of your hostesses? You got one of them pregnant? How bad could it be?
It could be worse than that.
You got two of them pregnant. You got three of them pregnant? Stop it, Paula. This is serious. Wait a minute, Jake. Whatever it is, just tell me. Haven't we gotten to the point where we can tell each other how we feel? I want to tell you things. I feel close to you. I want to share things with you. I'm falling in love with you.
No.
I am. Don't tell me how I feel. I know how I feel.
You don't. This is wrong. It's all wrong.
What is wrong?
Well, I read that stuff you wrote about, you know, the warrior poet stuff, a special strength. I read it again today. It's not me.
Is that all?
Listen, it is not me. It's wrong. Every word, every comma, it's fiction. Poet, hero, it's bull. It's not true. How many different ways do I have to tell you I did not write those poems? Not one syllable of them.
Blaine caroling here in all his glory. Ooh, speak up, it's Christmas. Mob? I don't know any. Oh, Maud. Well, Merry Christmas. What are you doing up at this hour? Trolling the ancient and all that? I sent you the check. Christmas mails, you know. Speak up, Maud. I can't. Car. What car? All right. I'm coming.
I went by the club. Arlette said you might be here.
My mother. She always gave us a great Christmas. Skates, bike. I don't know how she did it. She died of the flu before I got home. I come here sometimes, bring her flowers. You know, I always figured that she wouldn't be too disappointed in me. Maybe I'm not the prime minister, maybe I run a gin joint, but I've never really done anything to make her ashamed of me. Till now.
Who wrote them, Jake?
It was a kid, a friend of mine. He's dead.
Why did you do it? Why did you let it go on?
Because I used to shovel your coal. Because I can still see you in that garden all white, and rich, and untouchable. And I wanted you. I wanted you in the worst way, no matter how I kept it hidden.
How could you think that poetry would make any difference to the way I felt?
No, 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 no. Let's not kid ourselves, okay? It was the difference. I mean, no matter how dumb I seemed or what kind of faux pas I made around your hoity-toity friends, you knew that underneath the two-bit exterior was the sensitive soul of a poet. And that, you couldn't resist that. That's what hooked you. We both know it.
So then, why tell me at all? Why not just leave me in blissful ignorance? Because you'd had me? The conquest was complete? The game was over, so you'd lost interest? And then you decided it was time for a sudden attack of conscience?
Out of myself, I'm a bastard. I'm a bastard literally in the other way. Oh, face it, I'm a dumb guy. I'm nobody you'd look at twice. I don't know. I just got caught up. I started to believe it myself. I mean, I'd read those poems, and they were so close to the feeling I had over there that oh, what the hell? Go ahead, be mad at me. God knows I deserve it.
I'm not mad at you, Jake. I'm hurt. I'm hurt like I've never been before in my life. I actually thought that you loved me. You know, despite all the wisecracks and the bluff and the blunder and everything else, I really thought you loved me. Take me home, please. It's cold. Want to hear something funny? I could have spent Christmas at Sandringham. The prince invited me, but I wanted to stay here to be with you. Talk about dumb.
Hey, Paula, I did give a damn.
You had it all wrong, you know. Right from the start. You didn't need any poetry. I fell for you the moment I saw you. You could have had it all just for the asking. You think about that over Christmas? You think about that for a long time.
Jake! Jake!
Oh, sleeping over now, are we?
God damn you. It was just a smart remark. Well, that's all life is to you, isn't it, Paula? Just one smart remark after another. You couldn't care less about anybody else. As long as you're the center of attention. As long as you can toss off a few good ones and impress everybody with how terribly clever you are. Well, you'll really have something to be clever about now. Bitch!
Hey, come on. It's Christmas.
Did you ever think about him for 1 second? What he was feeling? What he was going through?
What is this?
They found the car in the water. It went off the road, through the ice. There was blood on the seat. They pulled it up, but there was no sign.
Where?
There was no sign of him, Jake. There's a current there, and they think they...
Where?
Off the North Shore Road, east of Senville, but they think...
Give me your car keys.
Here, take this.
Come on, hurry up.
Watch the road, little kid. If you want any cookies tonight. I had to let you go, Chris. So you understand?
I understand. It's okay. It's all right. But I'm not dead.
I'm all right. I'm all right. Oh, God. Sally, sweetheart, this is just a gash. Must have started to bleed again. Isn't that Paula's coat? Hi. What are you doing here? You all right? Never better. I feel, great. Oh, this is nothing. It's a scratch. You should see the other guy. What do you, what's he doing here?
I'll get a damp cloth.
I haven't interrupted anything, have I?
Chris, where do you think we've been all day?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to know. Well, what am I supposed to think? He marches in here all worked up, hardly knocking, getting ready for a little Christmas poetry reading or God knows what.
Chris?
You wouldn't happen to have a heavy, blunt object, would you?
Seems a bit odd, you know.
Stop. Think.
Well, it wouldn't have anything to do with me, would it? I mean, you weren't out... Well, I hope you weren't out looking for me or anything like that. Were you?
Looking for you? No. No, we're out in the snowbank. We're going at it like a couple of rabbits. What do you think? How you doing, buddy? You okay?
Good.
Nothing broke?
No.
And bust?
No.
Permanently bent?
No.
Good.
Jake!
You were out looking for me, weren't you? You were worried about me. He was worried about me.
I think I hurt myself.
So, I was driving along. Pretty fast, I guess. Didn't really care where I was going. And suddenly there was this curve, and I seemed to be airborne. The next thing I realize, I'm sitting in this ditch and everything is spinning around me like mad. And I must have given my head a pretty good whack on something.
Not good.
Not good enough. Deep down, he's a really nice guy. Anyway, my survival instincts responded magnificently. And I knew what was absolutely essential at that particular moment. And the floor was covered with water, which seemed a bit odd. And the car gave this sickening lurch, which seemed even odder. So I surveyed the situation, and my booze-befogged brain grasped the fact that I wasn't in a ditch, because I was in the river. So I calmly panicked my way out of the window and scrambled up the bank, and there I was, flaskless, but alive. And the car kept sinking in fits and gurgles, and I thought, well, somebody will come along sooner or later, but nobody did. Somehow, I didn't really care. And I sat there in a snowbank, and I looked up at the sky, and it was perfectly quiet. It was Christmas. I started to get this pleasant, dreamy sort of feeling. Almost euphoric. I'll explain to you later what that means.
He's all right.
So I lay there, feeling all peaceful and drowsy. And I started to think about that little cafe in France. The fresh bread and the red wine. And that girl singing Long, Long Trail. And there was this loud glug from the car, and I realized that I dozed off. But it wasn't in a French cafe. I was in the middle of a snowbank, drunk, in the middle of nowhere. And if I fell asleep again, I was going to freeze to death. And suddenly, that choice became crystal clear to me. It could have been written on the night sky. I could get up, and I could get moving. or I could lie down and fall asleep and die. Peacefully, painlessly, effortlessly. And, you know, and there was something very alluring about that. Very, very seductive.
That's stupid.
No, he's right. Absolutely. You know, a lot of things ran through my mind out there, but that was the one thought that stuck. You know, this whole thing, this wasn't, you know, poetic or tragic or profound. It was just stupid. And the strongest image that I had was of you two. And you were looking down into my grave, and you were saying, what an idiot. And you were crying, and Jake had his arm around you, and he was comforting you. And I'm lying there thinking, God, he's going to comfort you, and maybe read you a poem or two, and one thing is going to lead to another, and he's going to end up comforting you right between the sheets.
God.
He's a perceptive guy.
I mean, that was the... You know, there I was, alone with my mortal soul, trying to wrestle with the ultimate question, trying to feel something, I don't know, spiritual or something. And all I could feel was this petty jealousy. I lay there, fuming at both of you. But the thing is I was feeling something. Strongly. Suddenly I was up, and I was shouting, and crying, I was happy, and I was moving, and I was coming home. So, tough luck, buddy.
Tough luck? How do you know you're not too late?
I started singing these marching songs.
Generals have a bloody good time. Parlez-vous.
And the more I marched and the louder I sang, the better I felt.
The generals have a bloody good time. 60 miles behind the line.
And I marched like that for 5 or 6 hours, smeared with blood, hollering those songs.
Parlez-vous.
And this may sound sort of silly, but this march of mine had become like a kind of a symbolic act. And I wanted to complete it alone. And it never occurred to me that, you know, anyone would find the car or that anyone would be worried about me, so I just kept walking until I came here. And the door was unlocked, so I thought I'd just come in and lie down for a few minutes, and the next thing I remember, you were screaming, and the end.
You left one thing out. Why did you come here?
This is where I wanted to come.
All right. Restrain yourselves. I can take a hint. You could at least let me get out the door. I got feelings, too, you know. Now, they may not be so fine and highfalutin and euphoric as you two have. They might just be pretty base and common, if not just downright disgusting. But they're mine.
Thanks. So, boxing tomorrow?
Yeah, sure. Against you and who else? Well, sleep tight.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, I could stay.
Get out of here.
I'll replace your car, Mother, I promise. I'll buy you a bright yellow Hatmobile.
Well, why don't we all go in for some tea?
Season's greetings.
Benny!
What? 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 What do you think what? Baseball season started early, that's what. Help me up. God, Benny, I'm sorry.
Burton!
It's okay. No, it's all right. I deserve that. Benny, I'm sorry. I never thought. Never thought is right. Never thought about bloody covers and never gave a good goddamn. Come on, let's go inside. Shut up! Help me back in the cab. I gotta catch the next bloody train to nowhere thanks to you. Look, I'm sorry. If we go inside, I'm sure we can work something out. Sucker! Come on! Pick me up again. I'm starting to feel better here already.
Gotta catch up, son. My fluid level is dangerously low. You put me through hell. I was sans liquid sustenance of any kind for an entire day, just worrying about you. You plan something like that again, just give us a little advance notice. Give me a chance to get topped up before I face the abyss.
I'm sorry.
Oil change. Join me?
No.
You were a beautiful child. I have never seen such a beautiful child.
Dad, there's something that I have to ask you.
I still carry a picture of you. I'll bet you didn't know that.
Dad, I've got myself into, it's difficult to explain. It's a ridiculous situation, really. But it's also a very serious problem, both financially and otherwise.
It's in here somewhere.
And I need your help. What I'm asking you to consider is, Dad, is whether you'd be willing to, sell the bank.
It's not a bank anymore, son. It's four walls, a hollow shell, holding only the dusty and shattered dreams of the fresh-faced youth who once was me. Where is that little beggar?
Actually, it's holding a couple 100,000 gallons of alcohol at the moment.
You may turn out to be your old man's son after all.
I could do worse.
You could do better. You got a buyer?
Yes. Irving Eckelberg.
Is that Jew? Junkyards and whorehouses?
Come on, Dad.
Well, that's rich. There. Look at that. Have you ever seen a more winning child?
I don't think that's me, Dad.
Not you. Of course it's you. Who is it if it's not you?
I don't know. I'm sure it's not me.
I'll be damned. Such a beautiful child. Maybe it's me. I gotta take a leak. You gave me a scare, son. You gave me a scare.
You have to give me his name.
Why?
Did you think I'd just do nothing? Did you really think your big confession would be the end of this?
I don't know. I didn't think it through, I guess.
Well, let me think it through for you. Slowly, so you can figure it out, okay? I'm going to write a second article, and they are going to run it. They are going to splash it. Literary hoax. War hero revealed as a fraud. I think it's going to make a great story. They want photos of the diary, photos of the dead boy. I want to speak to his family. Everything. You got me into this.
You got yourself into this.
You let me make a public fool of myself. Now, are you going to help me out or not? I'll dig, Jake. I'll find out sooner or later. You can make it hard for me now, or you can make it easy, but the end result will be exactly the same.
Billy Wheeler, 14th Battalion. You give me a couple days and I'll get you what you want, on one condition. You start digging into this, into his record. You're gonna find out he was executed for desertion. And you can't use that. His parents don't know. I told them he was a hero. And this would kill them. And you can say anything you want to about me, but you gotta leave the other thing out of it. Please?
All right.
Wedding bells will ring so merrily. Every tear will be a memory. So wait and pray each night for me. Oh, Paula, darling, till we meet again.
Oscar Wilde. Miss Ashley gave it to me.
I'm leaving. Probably drunk in a ditch somewhere.
You have something so terribly important to do, you can't stay. You might learn something.
From who? You? Or that old rubbit?
Maybe from both of us. Well, you have done wonders with this place, son. Wonders! It warms the heart to see one's boy following the paternal footsteps so diligently. Wouldn't you say, Mr. Ecclesburg?
You see, already he's negotiating, probing for weaknesses.
Make yourself comfy, gentlemen.
Hey, look, Chunky, pal. Now, he's gonna come at you down and dirty, offer you $270, $275 like it's carved on a tablet. But I know this guy, believe me. You just go nose to nose with him, he'll blink. Don't take a penny less than $290.
What do you think, Christopher?
I agree. I think you should ask for 300. Look, why don't you let me hold that for...
So, as we say in the hushed corridors of high finance, how much?
I offered the boys $275,000, but I understand some of the merchandise is missing.
Missing? Why don't we ask Frank Merriwell here exactly why?
Under the circumstances, the offer is still $275. $240 for the booze, $35 for the building.
Do you know what my advisors here think, Irv? They think you're not as tough as you look. They think that if I stand my ground and don't met my mixaphors, I can squeeze you up to 290, maybe even 300. Are they dreaming?
David?
They've heard our offer.
Ambrosia.
Dad.
What? What's that little thing with your hand? Got dirt on my face? Son, relax. Don't worry so much. Learn to stop and smell the flowers. Or whatever. Now, let's see, where was I? Oh, yes. 240 for the booze. Let's make it 250. A nice bankerly number. And 35 for the building. What the hell? Let's make that 250 as well. Let's see, that comes to a total of,
$500,000.
Thank you. And a hush fell over the room.
I thought we were here to negotiate, not to play games.
So negotiate.
$250,000 for this. Mortar and stone and peeling paint. It's worth $35,000, $40,000 at the most.
$250,000 for what's outside the front door.
A street.
Not a street. St. James Street.
$250,000 for an address. You must think we're suckers.
Not at all. I think you're Jews.
Dad.
It's all right. I don't think he meant it. What is that word?
Pejoratively.
I think he meant it as a simple statement of a fact. And he is right. We are Jews.
Still, that shouldn't make
any difference? Christopher, just exactly what do you think Frank Ashley would say if Irving here walked in and made an offer on his place? What do you think anyone on this street would say? They'd laugh. They'd lunch out for weeks. Might as well walk into the Louvre and make an offer on the Mona Lisa. I was one of them, God help me. I know what I'm talking about. There's an invisible sign that hangs in their homes, the clubs, the street, their minds. No Jews allowed.
Actually, that's not true. Mortimer Daly.
Oh, yes, the Mortimer Daly gambit. Of course, they're not stupid. They always take one impeccable token Jew. That's so if there's the slightest whisper of discrimination, they can say, no, no, no. And they hold up their little Mortimer Daly doll. He's their shield, their protection. Unless, of course, a drunken, Hun-loving renegade like me comes along and breaks their precious rules. If I sell, if I let you onto this block and this street, I will be adulterating the very cycle of nature they have so carefully cultivated with their little silver shovels and their narrow little minds. I'm not selling you a building. I'm selling you a foothold on their hallowed ground. I'm selling you respectability. I'm selling you a whole different future for your family, for your name. And you know it.
If only it was so simple.
Oh, sure. This is only the first step. You'll have to start giving discreet donations to the right charities. You'll have to sell all your whorehouses and deny you ever had any.
My what?
It'll still take generations. But with one stroke of the pen, we can begin the process. The magical transformation from Junkyard Jew to St. James Street Jew. And that is a priceless difference. That is a Mona Lisa difference. We may despise the mentality that makes it so, but it's a fact. And the only issue here today is how much that fact is going to cost. And whatever the price, it's a bargain. An historic bargain.
And you think it will take that long?
You can bet on it. Our generation won't budge. They'll shun you like a leper. But their sons, and the sons of their sons, they'll soon realize that your money's the same color of theirs. Spread enough of it around in the right places, and you'll probably end up with a grandson in the Senate. A real Canadian success story. You won't live to see it. He will. Your other children will. You won't.
I have no other children. I have $1,000,000.
Don't just negotiate with him.
Jew him down. No. He named his price. Actually, he was very fair. I think he knew I would have paid more.
If you want to show your gratitude, you can put a nice big sign out front. Put your name on it.
Rub their noses. I don't think so. Small sign. Why don't you come in with us? We'd make a good team.
Me? Hell. I've got my good name to consider.
A masterpiece. Masterpiece. Painted on the ceiling. Chunky, Maestro, let me be your disciple forever. A privilege and a pleasure. And a fat load off my mind, I'll tell you.
Child's play, boys. Sleight of hand. Big up, Christopher. Celebrate.
I told you, Dad, I've stopped. Toast the man. Water.
Always let the other fella think he has an edge.
I love it. An artist at the height of his power. Now tell me, what do you think our cut's gonna be? You know, that booze has got to be worth at least...
Let's say I let you have 5,000 each.
Look, Benny, about my share. Now, this whole thing was your idea, and you did all the work.
Okay, you talked me into it.
What?
Weren't you about to offer me your share?
Well, actually, I was about to offer you half of my share.
Oh, I see. Half.
No, you're right. Absolutely, the whole thing. You earned it.
Why do you?
I was 18 when I got my first job down here. Running messages for Frank Ashley's grandfather. I loved this old street. It had a pulse all its own. Baumgarten saw something in me, I guess. Took me on, taught me, made me his partner. We had a great run. Hell, I'm not gonna mule and puke over that now.
Happy New Year.
Oh, Jake.
Are you hungry? Have you eaten?
No, I'm fine. Hey, look. Fits perfectly. Thank you.
Would you like another one? I'll knit you another one.
No.
You must be hungry. I'll make you a sandwich. Should have written to say you were coming. I would have made something special.
Well, I'm not much of a writer. Hey, listen, saw your husband outside. Is he okay?
Yes. Won't even have any fresh bread.
It's just that I don't know. I mean, your letter, he's not sick or anything, is he?
No, he's not sick, Jake. I'll kill a bird. I'll have Lorne kill a goose or chicken. It's chicken you like, isn't it? We'll have a proper New Year's feast. You'll stay, won't you, please?
Yeah, of course I'll stay.
We'll make it an occasion. It's been so long since we've had an occasion.
Hey, I got you something. It's, it's perfume. It's, Lily of the Nile. The girl told me it was a nice one. What's wrong?
We know Jake. We know how Billy died.
Next week on Chasing Rainbows.
I'm the one you want to talk to.
They shot him! They dragged him out in front of a firing squad, and they shot him down like a sick dog. Stop it!
I need an abortion.